This kind of thing is becoming far too common. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a Maryland judge who was shot allegedly by the person whose divorce case he was presiding over. Now, before I continue in the video, may the judge rest in peace and prayers out to his family. However, these kind of things with judges being attacked, lawyers being attacked, people going crazy in divorce court is going to happen a lot because of the way the laws are set up, the way society is. I'm not trying to make any excuses. I'm not trying to say the guy who did this allegedly was right to do it, so don't get it confused. However, the circumstance of what's been going on in society will create these kind of problems. You know, I know lawyers that got security, that carry guns because of guys like this, because guys feel like they have no other alternative but to do what he did. And again, not making any excuses. Get this guy, send him up under the penitentiary. Big rocks, little rocks. But again, these kind of things happen. Judges got to have more security. Lawyers got to have more security. There needs to be a lot more security in the courtrooms. And before I go any further, let's get into the news clip. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Well, a manhunt is underway in Washington County after a Maryland Circuit Court judge was shot and killed in his driveway last night. Police believe Judge Andrew Wilkinson was killed by a man whose divorce case he was overseeing. Deputies are searching for this man, Pedro Argot, who is known to drive a silver Mercedes with the Maryland tag 4EH0408. Now, we have been following this case all day long today. Washington County has more on the investigation, and we understand, Janae, this is indeed being called a targeted killing.
Yeah, that's right, Denise, and deputies are calling this a targeted attack now as they actively search for the alleged suspect, Pedro Argote. Neighbors who knew Judge Wilkinson are just simply mourning today as they continue and hope for answers.
Susan Porter never thought she'd lose a neighbor.
And, you know, the guy was probably super nice, treated everybody well. It's just the circumstances of this kind of thing in our society causes these incidents to happen. That's just really what it is. And again, no excuses for the guy. But I think people understand the circumstances and they understand how society is. And they know that sometimes some people that might be weak, that might be going through whatever, just snap. And these kind of things unfortunately happen. The environment is rife for this to go on. It's just like school shooters. When you got a bunch of these lonely males on drugs, I mean, you're going to have the inevitable school shooting, unfortunately. Not saying that they're right to go shoot the school up, but you can see the environment is set up for it.
Horrible. It's horrifying loss to lose someone like that.
Maryland Circuit Court Judge Andrew Wilkinson was shot not far from where Porter lives. Investigators found Wilkinson with multiple gunshot wounds in the driveway of his home Thursday night.
You know, you wake up, you think you're going to go to bed that night, and you don't. You had a husband, but now you don't. You have a dad, but now you don't. Guns. I just don't understand.
Porter was one of a few residents looking for answers at a press conference where Washington County deputies shared more about their investigation.
Deputies from the Washington County Sheriff's Office and other agencies responded to the 19,100 block of Old Waterford Road in Hagerstown, Maryland, for a reported shooting.
A motive in the shooting was not immediately clear, so Maryland State Police deployed troopers to protect judges living in Washington County out of precautionary reasons Thursday night into Friday morning.
We had no idea the information was coming in, so we placed officers and troopers at the local judges here in the county at their residence just as a precaution initially, and they stayed there through the night.
Authorities are now looking for Pedro Argote in connection to the death of the judge. Deputies say Argote did not have any prior criminal records, but they had been called to his home.
We have responded to the residents for verbal domestic assault assaults 2 times within the last few years.
Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that the judge and his wife or his girlfriend or something like that were getting into a dispute? Or does that mean that other people came up to the house and were confronting the judge? So I like to get that kind of hammered down, because it could have been other people. It might have been the same guy harassing them. It could have been other guys harassing them. Could have been his wife, girlfriend, kids. Could have been anything. I like to get clarification on that.
But no criminal record that we're aware of.
Albert says Argote was due in court for a divorce-related hearing Thursday, but was not present. Deputies say Argote did legally own a handgun, but it's unclear what weapon was used in the shooting.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office, along with local, state, and federal and allied partners, are actively working to apprehend Argote.
Now, deputies do consider Argote armed and dangerous, and if anyone has any information or does know his location, should not immediately approach him, but should instead call 911.
So there we have it. That's what's going on with the case out there in Maryland. Really sad, really unfortunate. Rest in peace to the judge, and prayers out to his family. Kids, if you had them, prayers out to them. But this case, like I said, the environment is set up for it. And unfortunately, you're going to have things like this that take place. So my solution really for the judges, for lawyers, for anybody involved in divorce cases, family court, custody of kids, things of this nature, you got to have better security. You got to be armed yourself and be aware at all times of what's going on around you, because you're going to have some dangerous guys like this and say, you know what, I don't like what's happening with my divorce, and I'm going to blame you for it. I'm not going to blame the laws that are set up that go beyond your head. I'm not going to blame my ex-wife and just handle it civilly with her. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go hurt you, unfortunately, and that shouldn't be the way that it is. But these divorces, to talk about that for a minute, a lot of these divorces, they ruin guys. They ruin guys, and people that have never gone through it, they don't know anything about it. They don't really understand. You see, sometimes you see a big number on television. You'll see Jeff Bezos loses $100 billion or whatever the case may be in a divorce. And that seems to be what people like, they latch on. Oh, you lose all your money. But if you're a rich person and you have that much money to give to somebody, you're going to be okay. That's a lot of money to lose, and nobody wants to lose 100 billion with a B dollars. Nobody wants to lose that, but ultimately you'll be just fine. But if you're making 55,000, 60,000, and you lose half of your money, you're losing your house, your car, you might have small kids under the age of 8, you might have 3 kids under 8 years old, or you might not even have any kids. You might be kind of older. You might be in your 50s. You're losing your house, your car, 401k, retirement, half of that, plus with the lawyer fees and alimony. You might just end up homeless, and in that situation, you might end up snapping. Now, again, is that the judge's fault? No. Is it the lawyer's fault? No. It's not even necessarily your ex-wife's fault. It's the laws that are set up that make that happen. If the laws weren't there to allow that to go on, then the lawyers couldn't do it, the judge couldn't do it, your ex-wife couldn't do it, nobody could do it. So the beef is with the legal system. You got to get laws changed rather than going out there and hurting people. But as I close, I want to say this: until we get a better grip on these laws, and until we fix some fundamental societal problems, unfortunately, you're going to see these kind of issues creep up from time to time. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what's going on here with the judge that was unfortunately taken away from this world by this man, and is most likely because he was the divorce judge in his case? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. You're going to have guys like this that snap in these situations. And if I was a judge, if I was a lawyer, I would never go anywhere without my gun. I would try to hire some private security, perhaps. I would have an extra layer of protection over myself, because I understand what I represent to some people. They think I'm the source of their problems. They think I'm the reason why they're being treated unfairly. So then they want to come and attack me. You got to protect yourself. And cases like this are an obvious example of why you must protect yourself at all times, even if you're not a judge or a lawyer or someone involved in a case like this that's very sensitive. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.